Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly DLC. I'm one of your hosts, Karosh, joined always by my co-host, Daniel Vargas.
Bark, bark.
Dan Jang.
Meow.
If you're not familiar with what we do, we bark, we meow. We come to you each and every week at podcasting services of your choice. Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, you name it, we're there. We talk about nerdy stuff. We talk about video games. We talk about books. We talk about comics. We talk about movies, everything in between. We have some fun, usually, most times. Yeah. And we hope you have fun with us. This is now episode 136.
69. Oh.
It's almost there. It's almost there.
3 more episodes.
Yeah. Episode 136. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Please let us know what you think. We love to hear from our fans and from viewers in general. So if you can leave any sort of feedback or iTunes reviews, anything, we always welcome it. So
let us know you're listening.
Yeah, let us know you're listening. There you go. This guy.
I should do the intro. I'm just kidding.
Next time we'll do it. So yeah, with that, let's start things off. How's your guys' week been?
We'll see you later. I watched It Part 2. Disappointing.
Did you like the first part?
That's the thing, yeah. So Part 1, I think, is much better than Part 2.
You did, okay.
And it's not even to say that, like, it's bad acting or anything. Dude, they did an amazing job. Like, these characters, adult characters, I was like, that is that kid. Like, they had those small nuances that these kids did. And I'm like, these adults are killing it, dude. Like, it's exactly them. There's one character where, like, completely different look to what he was at a younger age.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And I was like, dude, like the nuances that he does, I'm like, you can tell that was him. Like,
I know who you're talking about.
It was so good. Like, but I don't know. It was
where did it come apart for you?
I think it was too much mixed up between the past and the present. They were filling in things that happened in the past that the first did not show. And, like, I don't know, it just did a horrible job at, like, kind of telling that story.
Okay.
It didn't do a good job of placing where it was supposed to be. And it's not even to tell that I didn't know where it was. Like, you can kind of tell immediately, but it was still, like, it just felt so jumbled up. And
like
I was
janky?
like, it was, like, too much back and forth. It's like, I felt like maybe if they did the beginning part where it just showed that whole beginning part as kids and then led into the adult life, that would have been cool. But no, it was just back and forth. And I'm just like...
Which is funny because that's how the book is formatted.
The whole book, right?
It goes back and forth, and then towards the end, it starts going crazier back and forth.
But
and it builds this like tension, like you're just like, oh, why did it stop there? This isn't in present. Why does it stop there? And it just goes back and forth. Masterpiece.
So maybe that's what I tried to copy, but I don't know. It didn't do well.
It was weird because when they did the first one, I didn't watch it, but I know the story. I know the book. That it goes back and forth. The first movie was all when they're kids.
Yeah.
And then this one, it seems like it's back and forth. It feels like they couldn't pick. Like, I was expecting that this one would be all grown up then because they were like, okay, we did all the kids stuff already.
Yeah.
But if they're going to go back and forth, I would have thought maybe they should have just kept that.
It's weird because in the book, the way it shows them defeat it in the past and then it goes to when they kill them in the future. So, like, the ending of It Chapter 1 is actually in the end of the book.
Yeah, and like
so like it shows how he dies. It's like, oh shit, that's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah,
but did they showcase Pennywise's origin? Because that I thought would cost a lot of money. But if they didn't, then
they show where he comes
special
from
effects
and what they did.
Did they use?
I wouldn't say.
Because the way the book describes it, it's like it would have been super special.
Okay, like they didn't like. I wouldn't say like they went to like a shot of just that and did it. Like no, it was like added in special effects while storytelling, but it wasn't like a CG like perfectly made version of that. No, it was just like added onto the scene that was being shot. So no, nothing crazy like that. I still think they did a good job with his origin, like the way they sold it, at least in the movie.
This is spoilers. For It Chapter 1, does the bully die in It Chapter 1?
No.
Okay, all right.
Oh, you haven't seen either of them.
Yeah. I thought he died in It Chapter 1 because it wouldn't make sense because he's in part. He's in the adult part.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's jarring that you watch Part 1 and it's just one length, so you don't assume and it's going to change that way. And then you watch part 2, and it's almost like directed by a different person. Like it just wasn't even.
That's crazy.
You know, in Lock and Key, that one dude that gets his face broken in. It's very similar. That bully, where someone, Pennywise is like telling him, like that demon telling him to do stuff and escape.
I read it after I read Lock and Key, and I was like, man,
yeah, he
like father, like son.
He copied him pretty much.
I was sweating like crazy watching the movie, and at
Did
first
you
I
eat
was like,
ramen before?
At first I was like, am I scared or something? Am I nervous? I honestly think the fucking movie theater did not have the fucking air on, dude. I was fucking dying.
That's a crime.
There is a point where I was about to leave. I was like sweating to the point I'm like, this is uncomfortable. I'm gonna have to get up and get out. I'm gonna have to get out. And, yeah, man. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know. I should have just complained, but like, turn on the fucking air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, I
get your money back.
I paid, 50% off Tuesday price for this shit. Like, give me my money's. No, I was kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I like part 1 better.
Okay.
Not scary.
No, it wasn't.
The first one was scary.
I think it's because it's the first I watched it first, and so you don't know what to expect coming from I guess a new movie. It's not like a new movie, and then with this one, like it's the same thing,
Stranger Things season 1 and 2.
2 sucks.
But what about chapter 3?
I haven't seen it yet. No, I don't know. Like it wasn't scary. There's moments obviously where like the clown is supposed to be scary,
right?
But it's not like coming out of nowhere. Like a lot of the scenes, it has him there as the standard clown, and then it gets into the scary form. So it's not like a jump scare and stuff like that. Usually,
like I haven't seen the film, but I've seen a YouTube clip of when Georgie meets Pennywise. It just felt claustrophobic. Like the way he shot it, you just felt very claustrophobic. It's like, oh, do you like
a lot of the shots
popcorn?
are like, a lot of shots are kind of like it frames it to where you only see like the sewer, like the entrance to the sewer. So yeah, you feel like you're in there, like you're in the They did a good job with that part. But yeah, I know the first one just seemed better, but
Gotcha.
I still feel like it gets because like I watched the first as an introduction. I didn't know what to expect. That's why it was like very enjoyable. With this one, it's like I had the first part already. I knew what to expect, and it didn't deliver, I guess, what I expected. I don't know.
They just casted Skarsgård, his brother, to be Matthew McConaughey's character from The Dark Tower. Randall Flagg. So they just casted the brother. The older brother. Yeah.
Aren't there 3 of them?
There's like 3 of them. Yeah.
This is the one that's in True Blood?
I have no
like,
idea.
he's blonde and super buff?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Bill is fantastic fucking job as fucking
Pennywise,
dude. Amazing job.
Cool. What else did you do?
I pre-downloaded and then played Borderlands.
First review, go.
So yeah,
get
as
10-minute reviews.
as it's recording, I guess PC comes out earlier than Friday, but
Epic. Comes out before.
fucking all the money and shit that they spend.
The monkey.
But yeah, I probably played for like 10 minutes. It always has the longest introduction, has like the really cool introduction.
The music
like,
and everything?
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny too, because it's like so chaotic, and then it ends and it's just like something small randomly happens. You're like, that doesn't make sense, with this all chaos that was happening, but it's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, just played 10 minutes. Chose Flak, which is the robotic beast hunter.
It's like all robots. The trench coats and everything?
Yeah. I love the robots. So, I was doing the, what is it? Borderlands, the website has like their shift, like code or whatever thing that you can make an account for. And right now they were doing things for like rewards before the game came out. And I unlocked something, but I just realized I think it's a mask for Zane. So I can't use it unless I choose Zane. So I was trying to think, I'm like, I didn't see that, because I finally got to a point where you can, like, it tells you like register yourself to that mission in case you die. And that's where you can start changing your character immediately. And I'm like, doesn't show this piece that I apparently got. And it's because I just realized.
Wrong character.
Cool. So I spent, I think it was worth like 5,000 points or whatever, which you had to watch like all these videos to get like 100 points. I had to watch like 50 videos. And I just did that like little throughout the week, or
Oh.
like little by little, you would just
Yeah.
like log back in, do stuff, and every activity gave you points. I finally collected enough to get it, and I can't use it because I chose the wrong character. Oh well. Feels exactly the same so far as any other Borderlands, but that's perfectly fine. The game's always felt great, and I'm in it for the story. Maybe I'll finally beat this game as opposed to...
You never beaten any?
I've never beaten a single one. No, because I've always played it once like the game's like already has expansions,
Yeah.
and like the version I buy has all the expansions
Yeah.
already, like, you know, Game of the Year edition or, you know, whatever it's called, and it's overwhelming. Like it's happened with The Witcher too. I'll play and then
The
once-
Witcher 3?
start with The Witcher as well. I will start doing side quests,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's like 50 hours in this game. I haven't touched story mode.
Side quest.
So, yeah, and I've always let it get too far with Borderlands, like because they have like there's so much to do.
What I love doing with Borderlands games is loading up on side quests. I'm like, get them all. And I'm like, all right, I'm in this region.
Yeah.
Fucking knock all these suckers out. And then I go back and I'm like, redeem. And I'm like, brrr.
Yeah, it
Feels
has
so good.
two modes. It has cooperative and what is it called? It's like a mix of competitive and cooperative together. The word. And so in one of them, the cooperative, you are whatever level you are. If your friend comes in, everything scales down for your friend as well. Like it'll show your friend like this level, this low level. Everyone gets their own loot base. Like no, you don't have to worry about it. In the competitive version, it's not scaling. So if you're level 20 and your friend's level 1, he's
Level
getting
one's-
fucking wrecked. Every loot that you see is everyone seeing, and if you pick it up, they're not going to pick it
Okay,
up. So you can just steal everything if you want to.
That's how the older ones were too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't remember that competitive version.
Well,
The
it
other
wasn't
ones were like
competitive.
that.
It was just that's how the game was.
Oh,
and that's
okay.
how most games were for the longest time. I think.
Everyone's like running to her fucking chest. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought the loot system was like for everyone though. Like your
Uh-uh.
own
was
everything
a
you
pool.
saw was your version.
No.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's
I
not.
think the first time I saw separate loot was in.
Two.
No, it wasn't even like the first time the idea of like everyone having their own loot was in Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls.
Oh yeah.
Because they had it be before, I think at the beginning, I don't remember, I'm vaguely just
You're
going
right.
from memory, where it was like you could sell and trade and it was the whole auction shit. And then I remember with Reaper of Souls and the update that came around that time, it was like, hey, if we're in the same party together when that loot dropped and it was something you wanted, I could give it to only you. But if you were like, I'm not even logged in, I'm not even playing with you, and I got loot, I couldn't give it to
Yeah.
you. But my loot would be separate from what your loot was. That whole idea was like new to me. I was like, what? I can have my own loot? Because I remember games like MMOs and like WoW and like SWTOR, you would have to be like, I want it or I'm pass on it. And it's like a dice roll.
See,
and
but
you
it's
may or
a
may not
roll.
get-
It's like no one can really ninja. It's happened before.
Yeah.
But like
I've seen different systems with it, but it was always that like shared pool.
Yeah,
and it's like people can be dicks about it or people can be like, do you want it? And usually it's like I'm playing with friends. So it's like, hey, do you need this? No, this isn't an upgrade for me. Go for it. Or something.
so,
like that.
I chose a cooperative. So
Okay.
I will see my own loot. You don't get to steal my loot.
Okay.
I don't know if we can give each other stuff, but
We'll see.
and then what else? So I haven't done much. Claptrap, obviously, in the introduced in the guy who introduces you.
Have you
What
done
else did
anything
I
else
do?
this week?
What else did I do? I mean, I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, but I've been little by little weaning off of my addiction. It's just like another hit, but I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, we're both.
It's Borderlands, bruh.
Are you talking to
Losing
Brian?
him. I'm losing him.
Well, no, we got a replacement, bruh. We're good,
I got you.
No, yeah, I just I haven't been on it for 3 days. It's a long time, man. A long time.
Initiate Project Resurrection.
Get me the president.
Other than that, no, I don't think I've done anything. I
Okay.
watched the movie.
Cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Jane, what are you up to?
Diablo. Why are we playing a?
We got the wrong one. It's the other Daniel. No, it's the
The
other
wrong game.
Daniel.
Wrong game.
And the other game. Get it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be quitting soon. I'm on Greater Rift 36, and
I saw a friend of ours playing it the other day, and I was like, "Did you contact him?"
yes, I contacted Blizzard.
No, the friend.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's just the loot grind, man. It's not satisfying.
Is it
Like
the
it's not
gameplay
like,
loop?
It's not like Monster Hunter. Like Monster Hunter is satisfying. It's like you do this epic battle for an hour, and this is just like pointless, mindless.
The thing I don't like, the appeal that the Switch version has for me. The only appeal left for it, because I was in the same. I'm like, I've never played Diablo before, and I started playing on PC a long time with Reaper of Souls and 3 and everything. And I was just clicking away. I was like, oh. But then like nights would go by. I'm like, I took my headphones off and I just heard myself clicking. And I'm like, I'm not even like, I'm not aiming. I'm not like, there's no like, I'm not like it's just like, how fast can I click?
Right.
And I just was like, I don't know. And I started getting aware of it, and I'm like, I waned off too. But with what I was getting back with the Switch thing was, the idea of it being a couch cooperative split screen thing has potential. It's very much in the vein of like an Ultimate Alliance or like a Lego game where you can play cooperatively and just like fuck around. I think that is a great selling point for someone who doesn't find that the other side appealing, but it's got variety.
This might be a topic in itself, but
No.
they got to do that like what the 3DS did, where you download fucking the game. Only one person has to own the game.
Oh yeah,
For
yeah.
Mar-
that was
Mario
a
Kart?
fucking amazing.
Yeah, that shit was like
Download
woo.
play.
Yeah, download play.
Woo, Italian fucking lasagna kiss right there. They're like,
Mario.
So you're weaning off of that.
I'm gonna finish a season. I said that I would finish it. I'm almost done with the
mean-
season. Almost. I'm missing like 2.
Oh, you're just trying to get that the whole like combo
Yeah.
when finishing a season type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I don't think I'm gonna do Greater Rift 70. What's the one? Like, is 100 or I don't know. What's the good thing to get? But
Well, so after you get a season, it's gonna unlock more like achievements for you to do to get like the better version of the portrait and stuff like
they
that.
already have that. So I think, to my knowledge, you just got to do 4 chapters, right? Or 4 of them, and then the other ones are just extra, like super hard. But you don't get anything for doing that. So
I think you do. It's not as big as like the 3 things. I think it's the portrait thing, and then from there it starts leveling the portrait thing.
yeah, I'm just gonna do I'm almost done with it. So
Cool. How's the scary streams?
stop playing Amnesia because I was just like, man,
It's too scary.
Because the
No.
Switch collection's coming out.
I know, right? It's already out, I think.
Oh, okay. I saw something on the Twitter.
I was like, I need to play something different. And Alien Isolation.
How is that?
Sound wise, I've never played a game where just not even a jump scare, the sound scares you. And I mean, like, I posted a video of girlfriend reviews, and the guy, he's like, okay, I'm done. So yeah, just
I saw the clip
sound.
of you walking, like crouching up to the android, and I was
yeah.
like, I didn't even think the androids were. I was like, that was terrifying.
Yeah. So pretty much, it's like it's very Dead Space like the whole thing. But it's like, imagine, Dead Space, that thing that always follows you. But it's always following you.
Yeah.
The whole fucking
That's why I can't do it.
The whole fucking game, it's always following you, dude. And it can, like, you can hide in vents. Problem is, this thing loves to go in vents. It's just like, fuck. And, like, you finally get that motion tracker. And one of those the videos I posted up, the reason why it scared me, because I saw him, it was like, ping. He pinged over here. I was like, oh, I'm safe. So I opened the door. But before I opened the door, I tracked it. But the thing is, if you're standing still, it doesn't. It's a motion tracker. So the alien was just standing still. Opened the door. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Got him.
And the AI is like, see, at least that Dead Space, you can outrun it and you just chop off its limbs and it just like.
It slows down, but
Yeah.
it's like a Terminator.
Yeah, yeah. But this thing, like the way it like moves, like. Like the raptors in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It's like, he doesn't, it's not.
We do noises.
It's not predictable. And yeah, it's freaky.
Fucking sound clip for next game, dude.
But I'm getting double-digit views, which is like, that's like the equivalent of getting like 50 like YouTube CCVs to me, because there's no fucking logarithm in Twitch, so it's good. The viewership
Cool.
is good.
Would you consider playing in your scary stream? Would this fall under the category Doom 3?
As a
I
scary
have played it. The thing is, it was scary in the beginning.
Okay.
You get used to it so
Okay.
easily. Like so,
I wasn't sure if it.
Yeah. I mean, it was scary. It's kind of crazy when you look back on things like Dead Space 2. I thought was fucking scary, or Dead Space 1 was scary. I don't think it's scary anymore. I mean, it'll still scare me. I think it would still scare me, but like this atmospheric scares, like
Still
fucking
messed up.
I think that's what it is, though. Like you've entered at like a darker atmosphere, and so the atmosphere that this game produces, Dead Space, is no longer the atmosphere that is as scary that you've already sensed. Even though it's gonna have moments where you're like, oh shit, like it's just like you're not constantly sweating, knees weak, arms spaghetti or something like that.
like that Korean dude, and he like went back like 10 feet.
What about Fatal Frame? Would you play older games?
I
that,
would.
Like maybe aren't like they won't come off as scary, but they're a little bit more like it's the history of horror.
Silent
games.
Hill.
Silent Hill 2 is actually probably next I
on
think.
your list.
But
Cool.
that platinum is fucking difficult. It's one of the most hardest platinums I've ever seen, and I'm gonna try
This is PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3 to Silent Hill Collection HD Collection, which was really expensive, but now it's easy to find now. I don't know why, but
Interesting.
Silent Hill 2, I'm gonna try to platinum it. I want to do everything before Death Stranding. I saw a Tokyo Game Show, double viewers, dude, watching me react to Tokyo Game Show, and I'm very excited for Death Stranding. I don't.
What did you think? What were your impressions of that demo?
I'm kind of
gameplay?
scared. Like I was talking to the chat, if this game is like 90% deliveries, it's going to be a very boring game. But there were moments in the game that are very exciting. Did you watch it?
I watched some.
So there was a moment where there was a lot of red X's. Are those deaths?
I don't know.
They're not dead. I don't know what they are.
Because it's
'cause-
supposed to be interactive with other
Right.
people's games.
Right.
Like that was
They're
something I was doing. And like Bloodborne or something.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering like what those capabilities will be. I think he's going to use things that people are familiar with, but at the same time I feel like he's going to like maybe push it a little bit further or somehow.
I thought they were deaths until I saw those red X's on a part where there weren't, like, you cannot die. Like, I was like, how would you die here? Like, I was like, no, those aren't deaths.
But what if they're getting chased? Because the thing is, like, they show that a lot of the enemies are invisible.
Yeah.
So what if he's like, they're walking down the path for delivery, and then they're like, oh fuck, and so they obviously go a weird ass path up a little hill, and the guy, like the monsters are slowly following him, and it's just, he just sees like little glimpses, and all of a sudden that's where they get him.
I don't think those things are fast. Like,
didn't look
they were just never fast. You just get caught, and then you just get sucked in, and then that's the first game over screen, and then you had to fight that monster looking thing, and then I wanted to know what the second game over screen is. What if you died there? But what was cool was so like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, there's like ghosts, but instead of ghosts, they like give you items. So there's a ghost, and he throws you a grenade, like he catches it. I was like, oh, this is so fucking cool, dude.
It's trippy.
Social media.
10 thumbs
Yeah,
up.
the baby likes gives you likes, and it reveals your health. It's like
What the
weird
fuck?
So you're saying you're worried if it's 90% delivery.
Like
it's not
just
gonna be fun.
walking, random.
Well, the
walking.
thing, like, I mean, I'm gonna say this: Breath of the Wild is like 90%, just like
That's
right
true.
This is
around.
what
That's
I'm
true.
gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. Breath of the Wild, I maybe first gameplay. Like the second gameplay, I'm playing a lot slower. Still haven't been in a second time. I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty.
Run through of the game.
Yeah. And it is getting like those run parts, those in between parts are getting kind of boring for me. But the first gameplay with Metal Gear Solid, the most recent one, Metal Gear Solid 5, I was bored when I landed like far away from like a mission area and I had to run or do something and get all the way to the next area. And so I feel like I don't know. He might do something interesting for those in between moments because
I mean, there's different modes of transportation. It seems like and
Hoverboard.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the other games I'll bring up as examples that I think are successful. Breath of the Wild, I said. Red Dead Redemption as a franchise that has a lot of like in between, like you're just traversing.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, like both two Rockstar games and a Nintendo game, but like
the car and people, you just run them over.
you got horses.
And
I'm just saying, like you're going over like landscapes. And
Yeah.
Sure.
And like they're considered some of the best games of our generation.
You're right.
So I'm wondering how like it seems like he said I remember in one he showed a picture a while ago at another like Gamescom or something. He's like, that's a mountaintop, and that's not just like in the backdrop. He's like, that's someplace like as you get closer to it, you will legitimately get to climb that. And so
That's one of like the first things he had ever said. Like one of the first videos.
I think it was like a bunch of screenshots and everything, and then he's like, here's a screenshot of that same mountaintop, and now you're on the backside of it because of all the. I'm like, I don't know. I think this is gonna show like a big like, you know how like the end of the PS3's life cycle, we saw a game like Last of Us. Like this really is showing the full depth breadth of like what this console can do. I think this game is gonna do something similar. It's like. You thought like Red Dead 2 did. Like this is going to be on that level and maybe a little bit more with like innovative gameplay and stuff. I think he's pushing boundaries and he's working maybe closely.
It is
with
on the edge
the Sony team.
I know that they had marketed the game. A lot of the first time images of the game, like posters, were showing like PS4 specifically. Now it doesn't show that anymore. And people at first were suggesting other consoles, but
it might be like the release date is like later out or something. But now it's not, and now you're.
I think it's a game that's gonna be like Last of Us, where it's gonna be on PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Last of Us will be PS5.
As long as it has cross save, I'll buy both.
I want to start over.
I'll buy both copies. Just have cross save.
Yeah.
But I'm more excited about this than Last of Us 2, which is crazy. I kept on saying it on stream. I was like, I know. I said The Last of Us 2 is probably a better game, but I'm just more excited about this game.
I think it's because it's a new idea, like fresh IP from a creator that has been like all of his work has been on this franchise of Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, that's a well-regarded franchise, and he has such an imprint on it. But like, now he's getting to try something completely new.
Dude, I think he's throwing subliminal disses at Konami because there's a thing called PTs in the game. I have no idea what they're talking about. It's like, oh yeah, the PTs. You got to watch out for the PTs. I was like, what?
Personal trainers.
What the fuck is the PTs? Dude?
In case you know.
I'm excited.
Antisocial.
I'm excited.
Cool. For me, not too much. Been working on my latest MMORPG, Tetris 99. Doing my dailies. I got the Zelda theme so far.
I saw.
Yeah. I won a fuck. It's okay. So this was.
He won an Invictus, dude.
No, I don't think so. That shit's fucking hard, dude. That shit is
I'm
fucking hard, dude.
I can do this.
I want you to do it while on a treadmill, dude. Rocky style, you know?
I was fucking that one I won. I wasn't even trying to win. I'm like, I just want to do one of the dailies. I had it on mute, and Katie was talking to me, like getting some dinner ready, and I was like, all right, just gotta knock this out real quick, and it just kept going. I'm like, when is it gonna pick up? Because usually I die near like the top 10, and I just was winning. I was like, wait a second,
It's
three. I was like, three of us. Oh shit! And I was doing real well. I was like
Yeah.
not sweating a bullet at all. And then like it started ramping up. I'm like, oh fuck! Just don't fuck up. I don't even know what to fucking expect. Next thing I know, ended. I'm like, I just won. Save. Fuck yeah. Got my daily.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love the themes. The bigger thing is I'm really enjoying the profile icons because those are like trophies to me. 100% they're like trophies. So eventually I'll have to start working on the Invictus.
Ooh,
one.
this guy got the tiger icon. Ooh, he's crazy.
So far I got the silver line piece. That's my favorite one.
Line piece.
Yeah.
I like the bear.
Yeah.
That's clearing the whole Tetris thing.
Yeah, getting an all clear.
That's getting a Tetris.
I got an all clear today. I was
Nice.
like, what?
So you got that icon?
No, I think it's like after getting so many of them.
I
Right?
think two. I think only two.
Yeah, I only have one. Yeah. I need to start getting like actively learning. Like this game is now making me want to be like, I have reached I feel like my ceiling of like whatever skill I've got accrued or whatever. I need to like push myself into that uncomfortable area and like learn how to play.
So you had to get to that point. You know how like you can build fast for a Tetris? You need to get to the point where you know how to build fast for a T-spin.
That's what my first goal. The second goal is I've seen some of these people, and at least it comes across to me the way they play. They set up combos, so they'll be like, "Here's four, here's
Tetris,
a T-spin,
right.
Here's this, and here's that," and then it's
because
just
if you just do
if
you just do a Tetris, they could easily counteract it.
But to do that, you have to see more than one piece.
Right, that's the other part of it. Is just like broadening my.
I think for
awareness.
now you should like focus on trying to do T-spins. Like
Yeah,
set
no.
up T-spins.
I'm saying like that's a short-term goal, and I have this like stack of like other goals. but I agree. T-spin. I can't even like. It's hard for me to picture the setup.
Yeah.
And I need to see that like without like how you think of a fighting game. It shares a lot of things with a fighting game, almost as much as an MMORPG, and like with a fighting game, you're just sitting there like quarters turn, punch, uppercut. It's just like execution, and it's not even thinking. I've gotten to that with some of it, but the T-spin is not there. I need to think about it to like do it, and even that's
Just that it's not a fighting game,
I lost many games learning how to do a T-spin, but I'm still not good at it. You have to be like really.
Just keep doing it.
Katie put me on the spot the other day. She was like, so she has a coworker that really loves Tetris, and she was like, I think she might be able to beat you. I was like, what? Like, can you just like say like, okay, she's
How
cool.
many wins do you have?
She's
like-
won a few times.
I feel like
but I don't think she's won Invictus yet. I don't know.
I feel like the 2 weeks ago, like you guys were neck and neck. You guys were like, at some point, she
was
Super
doing good.
Saiyan and like fucking was like surpassing you for a bit.
She made me proud.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
found
But
the
then
kind of game
when
that
it
was-
was back at home, we were playing, and she was winning a few, and I was like, all right, I was like leaning back. I was like, all right, another, and we played, and I was like,
Another one. Another
and we
one.
played another one,
Another one.
and I was like, Crush, play, ease it up, cool off. No, but she was talking about her friend, and she said you should bring your Switch to work so that they can play.
Yeah.
Because there's a few other people with Switches. I was like, what do you mean your Switch? It's like, do you want to get a Switch? Because that's my Switch.
Dang.
And she's like, and she goes and tells her friend, she's like, he won't let me bring his Switch. And he's like, what? Man, that's lame. I'm like, what? You didn't say why? Because I was explaining the reason why I'm hesitant, because my brother, this is again, I'm to give context, it was when we were children.
Oh no.
Every time I give him my Pokemon file, he's like, play, just don't save. He somehow erased my thing, made a new file, and like 3 times that's happened in my childhood. So again, this is like when we're both like
Trauma.
it fucked me up. Like I put hundreds of hours. It's imagine like your Monster Hunter save, you're like play, and then someone's like, I made a new character.
Can't you just make a new user ID and?
No, but still, like the possibility.
There's a chance that they could go to the like.
Because
in my head, I was like, you cannot
parental control on your.
He did it on Donkey Kong 64 once. I was like, there's no way you can do it because you have to go to a fourth menu that's not even toggled. Then you have to go within that menu to something, and then it's automatically on no. You have to go to yes, and he somehow did it.
It'd be so cool
I'm
if
like,
he could like rewind time through his memory.
I want to see it.
And he's just like, hey, on purpose, like
I knew it. Yeah. No, one of the times he just dropped the Game Boy and it hit the ground. I'm like, turn it on, blank save. I'm like, what are the fucking odds? What are the fucking odds? So anyway, I have this trauma. I know it's me. It's not her.
yeah.
It's
But
crazy.
did you explain this drama to her?
The saved games are backed up too.
That's true.
Did you explain this trauma to her though?
Yeah, but she didn't explain that to her friend. She just said like he won't let me play. I was like,
So
I'm
she's
like,
like,
bad guy.
I'm gonna fuck him up in Tetris. Like,
so then I was like, all right, fine, you can take it. I just need to show you like
And
the turn
now
on.
you're fucking safe house.
But no. So now she's like, every chance she's gotten, she's been like, I need to practice Tetris because I want to show them how I want to be on their
You're
level.
gonna have to pick up a Tetris or another Switch.
I was like, Switch Lite's coming out soon.
dang.
oh, that's right. That's perfect for her.
Well, she's
Holy
like, no, it's
shit.
too much. She's like,
It's not enough, dude. She's crazy, dude.
I should have kept the old one and then just got this new one.
Nintendo like, we got him.
But it was like, this is kind of cool. Anyway, so Tetris. I've been playing Astral Chain still. The music is very much like Nier Automata in a lot of ways. I'm like, oh my god, it's like the same. It's very close.
But not the same.
The mission structures are weird. So the first, I don't know. Did you guys see Girlfriend reviews?
No.
No,
She was like Control and Astral Chain.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like very different games. Astral Chain, she's like, I hate watching it. And this is the Girlfriend reviews YouTuber. And then she's like, the mission structures are weird. And I agree. The first half is investigation. So it'll be like, here's a crime scene or like an area of Tokyo. You have to go run around, collect clues. And it's literally tedious bullshit. It's like, run over here, find out which one of these 5 hoodlums did it. Go over here, chase a cat. Go over here, find the
So it's
spray
like
paint.
a Nier Automata side quest.
But it's like the main story. And then once you've gathered these clues, there's red words. It's like, oh, we saw something that was ghostly, and it's like ghostly, and it saves those words. And once you've cleared all the clues of that region or whatever, the other cops are like, all right, what do you think could have been the most strange thing someone saw? And you're like looking at the words you've gathered, you're like, and it's like very obvious,
Ghostly.
like ghostly. It's like, that's right. And the girlfriend reviews is like, this is like Blue's Clues level mystery shit. I'm like, yeah, it is. There's no way you could fuck it up.
Like with Dora, what's your favorite part?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm like, fucking just get through it, because once you do that, it opens a portal and you go to this other realm and you just fucking hack and slash. And
That's
shit.
for the funny. Okay.
And that's where I'm like, it's interesting. It's not like easy 100%, but it's like as you unlock more of the astrals or the angels, I'll call them, you can change things up. So I only have 2 so far. I have like a sword wielding one and I have an arrow one. So they're very straight, like, okay, sword wielding, close up melee, arrow one, range stuff. But you can switch between them very quickly, and I'm trying to like get the handle on like how to do it smoothly.
Yeah.
Because there's potential for like crazy combos and all this stuff. So it's like this weird, like it's like how you were describing it. It's like janky flow to it, but like I like the tone of
because it's new.
Yeah, it's different.
Did you notice the near automata voices? The 2B9S voice actors?
No,
Oh, they're in the game.
I play mostly on mute, so but I could see who some of the characters could be. I just haven't looked.
Dang,
up.
without even listening, you're like, that's 2B right there.
Yeah, badass. No, so it's an interesting game. And then what other game? I don't think I've played much. I've been watching Broad City some more. It's a really funny show. This one episode was really random. This girl goes to like an orgasm therapist. She realized, and then she's like, I haven't come in like months, and then she realized it hasn't been months. It's been since the election, and it's tied to her hatred of like Trump and the presidency. And then this therapist is like, you got to fight through it. And she starts having all these visions of like freedom and like, and then she's like, no, Mike Pence, fuck you. And then all of this, and then I was like, this is weird, but I'm like, this is pretty fun. That's it. So with that, let's get into topics.
Yeah, I don't think we decided who goes first. All right, we decided who goes first.
Longest gaming session. Go. Episode 69 times 2. Longest fapping session. No,
Someone just whipped out the longest session right now.
Longest session. We're talking about games.
I feel like I have a few.
Yeah, go.
I have skewed memories because I don't know which one is the longest one. But one of my most memorable long-ass sessions is Portal 2.
Wow.
I got it for console. I went over to Roberto's house. This is the day it came out. Well, it was like, well, I think this is back then when they had midnight releases. They didn't do like, here's 3 hours in advance, release so you can get some sleep in. So midnight, we grabbed it and then played until fucking morning and beat it. Like that one sitting session.
What time in the morning?
So that's the thing. So I recall it still being like early. So I want to say like 6 in the morning or 7. So that would be from 12 to 6. That would be just 6 hours. But
I feel like a World of Warcraft.
So that's what I'm saying. So this is the way it's skewed. But I remember like not leaving his house till like noon or something like that. So I don't know. I can't remember exactly when I finished. Get in the room. No, so there's that. But yeah, there's been World of Warcraft for like fucking 16 hours maybe. This is a lot, dude. But I can't recall the exact time.
I think one of the most significant memories I've had was with Diablo 3. It was
on Switch.
No. It was Reaper of Souls was coming out.
Oh yeah.
I had stopped playing for a while.
See,
I played
I
at
gotta
launch,
grind it.
and then I was like, all right, I'll get back into it because a bunch of my friends wanted to play. I lived at my friend's home. I was renting, and 2 of our friends came over, and we just set up computers right there all night. We were just like, we had TV on, we had pizza, food, everything. We went and got some like Del Taco, And we went from like we started new characters because Crusader was a new playable character with Reaper of Souls.
Wow.
So all of us played Crusader, and we're like, we're gonna go from level 1, and we finished the game, and we got, so it was like level 1 to level 60 I think at the time, and I was taking progress pictures like level 1, level 30, level 50.
Did they have Paragon levels at the? So it's after you could level up
So
more.
once you
Yeah.
hit 60, I think
Yeah.
is when you can start doing the. We just beat the game.
Oh, okay.
Like we were like trying to get through the campaign because I think still at that point they hadn't updated it where you don't need to beat the campaign to do like any mission.
Yeah.
And we also wanted to try out whatever that new campaign. Like there was like another segment to it, and I was like, holy fuck, it's morning. It's like, all right, good night, guys.
How many hours? Is
I don't know, like 12, I'd say. I don't beat 16, but it was solid. I was like, I took my headphones off to go pee, and all I hear, I was like, what the fuck?
Sweat. Son,
What about you?
mine is 12 hours.
Yeah?
And, it was Halo 3. Right when it launched. So like we had a crew that we were really good. Like I don't remember ever losing, but we were grinding Halo 3 team deathmatch ranked matches, and it would take forever to rank up. We would just destroy teams, and just 50 matches later, one rank up. Like, what the fuck? And then like I could tell, like, this is 12 hours without food, too. So I was just like, we just kept on going. I was like, and then, like, someone in the mic said, oh, I'm going to order pizza. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. So I was like, at that time, this is 12 hours in. I was like, okay, I think I'm done, dude. 12 hours, Halo 3, launch.
Damn.
For nothing, dude. All that for nothing.
What do you mean for nothing?
I mean, like, the rank was really bad. We were winning, and I don't know why. It just
The
wasn't
rank system.
leveling
I wonder
up.
if it was because like it was matching you with people that weren't a high rank, so it wasn't
Or the
affecting your
algorithms were
rank.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's usually how most ranking places. Like when you play a higher ranked person, it benefits you more towards your next rank.
Right.
But if you're playing someone who's not that high ranked,
It doesn't
it's like
give you much.
you're fucking ranking this guy.
Yeah,
It's-
the only reason why I kept on going was because, dude, we really didn't lose. Like, it was fucking rare when we lost. Like, kill death win-loss ratio was crazy. Even with Gears, I don't remember ever losing.
I feel like you were a different gamer. Like I'm used to, like, in the sense that like I'm used to you playing like
he's a completionist.
like story games and narratives and open worlds now, and like you're talking about like Gears and Halo playing like
Yeah,
ranked
dude.
competitive matches. I'm like, I don't see you like play like nowadays. You're not playing like these shooters or.
He jokes about being what 29th or whatever, 27th, but this
Charge
guy was
one.
like number 1, dude, in fucking Gears of War, dude. Shit.
Hey, I'm 3,000th in Diablo.
No one, there's like that's how many people.
No,
are
but
playing
it's
the
funny
game.
because the people that I played with, they're playing Gears right now, and they want me to come back. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I gotta focus on the stream, dude. I can't play a saturated game. I'm sorry. I missed the winning part. It's fun.
Hey, just played off stream, didn't
It's not like Fortnite where we lose all the time. Like, I missed the winning part.
Well, what? Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say something else. Oh, another game. It was with the same group that I did Diablo. One night we were like we were just hanging out like many nights, and they were like, "Oh, new game came out, Ultimate Alliance." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go!"
Ooh.
So we got Ultimate Alliance 2, and that one had 2 story paths. You could go one of 2 routes.
Evil and good.
It was just like a split. It wasn't so much an evil or good. It was just like the story could go one way or it could go another way. And we started the game, 4 of us, and we finished it in the morning, the 4 of us. And we're like, all right, play through 1, complete. And we're like, all right, I'll see you guys in a few days. I went home to sleep. But that was like 10, 12 hours. It was. I don't think I ever passed 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like 10, 12 hours was a fucking lot, but yeah.
Yeah, with that World of Warcraft session, man, I think it was right after an expansion. So like there was more content to do, there's more stuff to do. So I remember finishing all that. It took me like 6+ hours to finish it. And after I finished it, I was like, dude, I'm one of the first, not like top 10, but like thousands of people to get to this point, and I can start doing like the more end game content at this point. And there are people searching, and this is I always thought like it's the easiest time. Like they're desperate, they'll grab anyone, even if you're not like perfectly geared. At this point, like you can do something where like it's the easiest thing now, and people are still like, you got to be like 100 times better than what it's asking for. I'm like, what the fuck is the point? I'm not gonna get the gear that I need.
50 clear throughs before we can even consider.
Yeah, that's how it gets. And I'm like, at that point, I would have every gear I need. Why would I even need to do this anymore? But. So that I was like, this is perfect. So then I'm over here waiting for like, or I'm like trying to find a group. I finally get a group, but like the group is like completely like unorganized. So like one guy leaves, like it's taking too long to gather people. So he leaves. And I'm like, I'm fucking willing to wait. And so, you know, it's just a waiting period at this point. Finally get a group together. And obviously it's like newer content. So you're constantly wiping. You get the first boss, die like 3-4 times. The first boss always tends to be kind of easy. So it's not hard. But wiping that many times, it's kind of like you're like, oh, we're not going to make it. But people kind of stick together, like, might as well get as many bosses as we can. And we finally get to a certain boss where it's like, dude, we do not have the DPS. Like, there's what's called GPS checks where it's like, if you don't get a boss to a certain point in the health after like a battle, it's like the boss kind of enrages or like he starts adding more ads. You're like, we're not going to do it. Like, we can't control everything at the same time. Well, because the boss is supposed to like change a pattern after this point. And if he doesn't change, and then we get the ads out, and then he changes, like we can't handle all that together at the same time. So you know we're like seeing these issues, and we're like, no, sorry guys. And yeah, this is like probably 12-14 hours into the game, like that I've been already playing, and I pugged another two, and we got to like I think the raid was like 8 bosses. And I had done 2 bosses with that group that I took forever for. Found another group that had already down to that same boss I had down, and we cleared the next 4 like in fucking 3 hours, and that was it. Like I was like, all right, cool. And well, we didn't finish it, like because usually like the last boss is always the hardest, so people kind of start farming all the other bosses, and then finally like, all right, we're gonna do a full attempt. So I was like, I'm not worried about the last boss. I know I'm not gonna be in a group that's gonna down that boss. So I just did everything I could, try to get gear, and then. That was it. And that's the only time I ever did that raid was in the beginning. I never even tried to find another group after that. Yeah. But yeah, it was like, fuck, dude. It was like 15, 16 hours, I think, at that point. I was dead. I was dying, dude.
I have to like mentally prepare myself for like those sorts of long. They're like, for me, premeditated.
The thing is, for me, though, is it's never planned. Like, I think a session that long is just never planned. Like for me, I don't expect to play a game more than 12 hours. So it kind of just becomes a thing. It's like,
tonight.
Hey, come over. Come over, Marcus.
So it's just something like I've never planned for a game session that long, and I'll just be like.
But it seems like you knew you wanted to go that far, like the way you were saying. Like that day when it was coming out.
That day was like, I want to finish the game. Like that new content. I finished it in 6 hours. And then I was like, I saw an opportunity to do this. I took that.
Hours later.
And then after I did that, I was like, I wasn't like defeated because I was like, I feel like I could still, if there's still time for me to find. Exactly. And I found that other group, and luckily I was able to do what I wanted to do. And that's.
I think it's harder now for me to do it because of like 9 to 5. Like when I was part-time working. Young. Night owl, dude. Vampire. Dude. Now, I mean, I'm still, I feel like my body's meant for like nighttime, but I'm like forced to wake up. Dude.
Yeah.
Sucks.
God damn.
Sucks. Yeah. Back in the day, yes, no problem. Now.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about Destiny? You didn't have like a raid?
None of them have exceeded 12 hours. Like, they've been less than it. They feel long.
I know you did. One day you called out of work. I don't think it was for the game, but you had an opportunity to do a raid.
Was it in Destiny 2?
Yeah, and some guy he like carried you essentially. The whole
yeah.
team.
What happened was I had no. It wasn't I didn't call out. So I had my 980 scheduled.
Oh yeah,
I had the day off. Right. I was like, I got no errands to run.
But you had a goal in mind.
So I was like, I got time. I'm gonna see if there's like raid groups forming. And I was on this Discord, and it was LFGs. And usually I can find other stuff there, but this one guy usually, and they'll be like, must know what to do, or no mechanics.
Had I've done the raid 16 times already.
They were a little bit more lenient. It was just either know what to do or no mechanics, or I don't know, something to that effect. And this one guy showed up and he's like looking to Sherpa group, like specifically seeking to teach people. And I was like, fuck yeah, okay. So I hit him up and then he's like, all right, get in this channel. And so I did.
Get in the robot.
And like everyone else in the group was also never really done it. And this guy was really like understanding and he was very much like my goal is to teach. Like my goal is if I can make you succeed, then I've succeeded. I was like, fuck that, it works for me, win-win. I was like, tell me what to do, I will do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
And for the most part, he was very straightforward. This one part, I was like, whenever raids come up, I'm always nervous. I'm like, I don't want to be the one to fuck up.
Right.
And there was one part where he's like, who wants to volunteer to do the least amount here? And I was like, no one was saying anything. I'm like, I am not afraid to say something. So I was like, I will be that person. And he's like, all you're going to do is you're going to start the thing. So you're going to go up to the thing and then you're going to hide. And when I tell you, you come back here and you do this. I was like, okay.
And you fucked it up. No, I was kidding.
And stuff started happening that he didn't explain, like in the encounter.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. And I was like, trying not to interrupt because they were comedians. It's like, what do I do? And I like jumped or I did something because something happened to me. And I was like, I think I got caught in something. I don't know what to do. I was trying to like figure it out based on what he had explained to the others. And he's like, yeah, you weren't supposed to do that. I was like, I didn't fuck up. Like I should have just stayed where he like did exactly what he said. And I found a way to fuck up still. I was like, oh, so what you're telling me, and the humor in the group was pretty good. He's like, so I was like, what you're telling me is you gave me the easiest fucking job and I still found a way to fuck it up. He's like, better words, yes. But then the second time I was like, okay, so I'm not supposed to react when this happens. He's like, yes. So I was like, okay, good to know. Maybe I was like, I didn't criticize or anything. I was like,
But it's true though that it's happened even
things
like
happen
it's happened even like in World of Warcraft where like the guy explaining is like, I don't need to tell him this because he shouldn't be reacting to this. But that's not, you're like, as a new person, you're just like, there's fucking fire. I'm moving
nothing
out of
should
the way.
happen to me.
Yeah. And so you do something and you're like, you should have just stayed over the fire. It's actually beneficial to you. In normal game, it kind of kills you. You should have just said something. And he's like, well, I didn't think you would need to, you know. I'm like,
and then the other thing that happened during this whole raid was this in the group, there were people from different countries and from different regions and everything, different accents. And this one girl was from America, and she was like, my mic, apparently the connectivity was cutting in and out. So I would say stuff, and all of a sudden it would get choppy, like a drive-in, sort of like you're trying to order food. Somehow she's like the only one that could understand what I was trying to say. Like, oh, and then she's like, he's trying to understand if you pull the lever at this point. And then I would just like, I'd see my connections go like, yeah, that. And everyone's like, how the fuck did you understand him? She's like, I don't know, but apparently I'm really good at it. And later she invited me to her clan, and she's like, that's the one I'm in now.
What happened to the Teabag Brigade? What the?
Don't even fucking. Everyone left me on that.
It's a bad clan name. I'm just saying.
You were in it.
I know.
Don't even say like you're an accomplice.
It's still in it though.
No, you're not.
PS4 version's still in it.
I thought you were in West Side Street Fam.
That's the PC version.
Traitor, dude. West Side Street.
Oh, just a quick topic, or a quick thing. Did you? I'm assuming you rolled over your Blizzard into Steam already.
Yeah.
So it gave you option to do the PS4 version, but then it tells me like I don't have all the expansions for it. So it's like either do the PS4 and no expansions, or do the PC and get expansion. I'm like, all right, I'll do PC, I guess. So that sucked. I was like, finally, I can go back to PS4 character on PC. Nah.
So yeah, that raid was that. But like I think the longest Destiny session I had was Destiny 1. When I first got into the game, there was like the first time moments of triumph happened. There was this encounter, and someone helped Sherpa me. And then all I needed to do was grind some tedious public event thing. But public events then, there was no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
I had to follow a third-party tracker. Yep. And I was like,
Jesus.
I'm not sleeping until I finish these. Because there was like, literally the next morning was the deadline.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not going to be the thing that stops me. And I did it. And I was like, fuck this. I'm so over this.
But the Sherpa, the Last Wish one, that was like 8 hours. I remember you telling me.
That was a full day. It was like a day of work.
I was like, that's a full day of work.
Yeah. I was like, I'll get through some of it and I'll learn. But then like we were at the end. I was like, holy fuck, we did it. We fucking did it. And then when we go to get the loot, I got like the exclusive like drop, and the Sherpa was like, I've done this raid 80 times.
Oh.
I have not gotten that drop.
God damn, that sucks.
He's like, and then you fuck up the easiest thing, and you get the.
And me and 3 other people all got that drop.
That
I was
sucks,
like, wow,
dude.
not one.
That's a slap to the Sherpa, dude.
The girl reached out to me and she was like, he got it the next day because they became really good friends.
Nice,
and
nice.
like he made like I talked to her like a month or 2 later.
Yeah.
And she's like, now I'm Sherpaing people. I'm like, damn, like you fucking like rose up. And stuff. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Pass
So,
it-
anyway,
pass it
that's
on,
a little
dude.
Destiny story. That's all I had for longest sessions. Are we talking longest FAP
Right.
sessions though?
It's gonna be
69.
no. The longest
Times
session's
2.
gonna happen. Borderlands.
I don't think so. We're older now.
I mean, I don't have work
Yeah,
tomorrow.
There you go. You're gonna surpass me, dude.
Level 2. Did it. Doubled his levels. Do you want to do your topic?
I will go
Since
with
we're
mine.
talking about some of these games.
So, the reason I even brought this topic up is World of Warcraft put a pause on the recruiter friend program that they have. They reintroduced it again, and the whole idea is if you bring a friend that doesn't own World of Warcraft into the game, you both get benefits for playing together as friends. You guys get like extra XP while you're playing together. All these items that help you level together, and then the guy who recruited you or who brought you into the game that's been playing the game, he gets special items that are considered part of the recruiter friend. And before it used to be like if you recruit a friend and he buys at least 1 month, here's a list of items you can choose to have or whatever. And usually it's mounts. Now it seems like that one friend can get you everything if he pays for a whole year's worth of World of Warcraft. So every month that he continues paying, you're giving another piece of reward, and it gets better and better and better. Eventually, it becomes like a mount, like a ground mount that can hold 2 people, and then a flying mount that can hold 2 people. You get like it has one of the only so every back piece is always a cloak or like a shoal or whatever that's on your back. They've never had anything else for a back piece. This new recruiter friend introduces a backpack, like an item that looks like a backpack. So, and they have like transmog. You can
So
change.
you become the mount.
So that's the only. This is the item that like people are wanting it because it's like it makes you look completely different than everyone else because it's a fucking backpack on your back as opposed to just a cloak. But it got me thinking, like, what games, previous games, current games, possibly future games, if you can think of one, that would offer a recruiter friend that would benefit the game to help bring more people to play. You know, a game that's been in existence that just feels like it's dying, and maybe if it introduced something like this, a recruiter friend method. What game do you think would benefit from this the most? Or like you just enjoy and think like you want to revive this game with a feature like this?
I think it only benefits multiplayer games. So I'm gonna say Fortnite. I know like it gives you XP bonus when you play with people, not friends. Actually, I don't know. But you get an XP bonus for playing with people in your party.
Yeah.
But do that with friends and have buddy dances. Like 2-man dances. It can only be done with
I think
whoever you
Destiny
recruit.
started including that.
Destiny has buddy dances, but they're not unique to like. You can have this. So the way Destiny does it, maybe this is along what you're thinking. It's like emotes, but what the paired ones are is, I'll do a prompt. Like one of them is like a fist bump. So I'll put my fist out, and if someone walks up to my fist at the right angle and holds,
it'll
a
be like
button,
interact.
Then it's like we've initiated the dance. So then all of a sudden we do the fusion
Oh, okay.
or whatever else it is.
I want the Will Smith like bing,
Dun,
bing, bing after you kill someone. That's so disrespectful.
So, but I think it's the way Destiny introduced it. I think is a great way. So, like when you start that dance, it would like just show you with your hip thing, and if someone walks up, it's like, "Did you want to partake?" You know, like hit E, and like it'll load and be like, "All right," and then you both just start like ding, ding, like so that way it can set up perfectly. Because if not, you'd have to both at the same time or some shit. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
I think cosmetics are an easy way to do it because it is something people seek out, but it's not required. It doesn't give you an extra benefit in like beating out other players in these sorts of games, these online or multiplayer games. And 2 of the games I thought of was Monster Hunter. I think like if you can refer a friend, then it's like you should have like some sort of like hunter's band or something. Like, you know, I brought you in and we're a part of the same caravan, so it's like something to commemorate that. Like someone either brought me in or I brought someone in. Like there could be two sides to it. Like maybe there's like two colors meeting, like a yin and yang sort of thing. And so everyone that has the yin is like the bringers, and everyone has the yang is like the brought and all this stuff. And then the other game I was thinking of was Pokemon. People always love Pokemon. People always love to bring people into Pokemon. If you're Pikachu or whatever Pokemon, maybe your first trade with that person or a Pokemon that you both get, it just has like a special, like shinies are like a huge thing. But what if it was like a variant shiny? It's like a friendship thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think to add on to your Pokemon, 'cause I think that's a fantastic idea. I think like what they did with Pikachu. Pikachu was one of the first Pokemons where like he started getting like custom made. You know, he would have like hats. He would have different things. Like at some point, Pikachu got surf. You know, and so there's all these different things with Pikachu. I think that if you do like a recruit a friend, one of the benefits would be you're able to give them a Pokemon that you completely customize, and it's only able to be done when doing recruit a friend, when you can customize a pet. So then, or a Pokemon. So then at that point, like, so if someone's never recruited a friend, they all have like average looking Pokemon. But it like, so like, let's say I brought you into the thing, and you're like, hey dude, like I'd really like, you know, to have this one. I'm like, I can customize it, dude, if you want to. I can add like, you know, face paint to him. I can add, and he looks completely different than what like, you know, the original Pokemon would have been. But you can obviously tell like it's still that same Pokemon. It's just got a hat.
Yes.
You know, it's got different look.
Something unique to it.
Yeah, and that's like, you know, this is. My friend gave me this for going into this game. Like, that's really cool. I think that's something really neat.
Pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
I think in addition to some of that, a cool thing for more like the grindier type of games would be something that either increases the chance of loot drops or increases the experience gain so that you maybe makes the grind easier. So you can get to end game faster with that person.
And that leads into the game I think would have a good one because it's already dying out, Diablo 3.
What would the mechanic be? The levels?
Yeah, I think similar to what the way Blizzard is already doing it with World of Warcraft, it's got multiple levels, like, and not just for like different like continuing, but when you recruit that friend, when you guys party together, you guys are getting extra bonuses. Like XP wise, it doesn't do drop rate things, but that like it makes sense for Diablo. That's kind of their thing. Like shit drops.
Yeah.
And then other than that, though, you guys would get like exclusive, like it does cosmetics a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe even like it does custom portraits, which you can change the way like your character, the frame around your character that everyone can see. That'd be really cool too. Like maybe have like a rainbow one, like that's friendship or some shit. Like
that's good. Yeah.
and kind of have that theme going too. Just have different things because there's also like cosmetic wise where like you can add wings that don't do anything, but it's just like a look. So just have rainbow wings, everything fucking rainbow, or something like that. But I think it can be easily like added on to Diablo for that. And then it would be fantastically paired with that extra XP.
To add on to subscription type of like MMOs, money. Like if you refer a friend, get $5 off for your subscription. Eventually, if you could get a lot of people to get in, you're going to be paying for free for a couple months.
That could be cool.
Refer a friend.
I don't know, because the two main games that I know for sure have their recruiter friend is World of Warcraft and
Destiny
Final
has
Fantasy.
it.
Oh, does it? Oh, that's right.
Destiny has it where it's like you get an emblem that shows that you got.
No, but they had like a.
There's a shader and an emblem.
They had a card, didn't they? Like
sparrow?
a sparrow at
Maybe.
some point. Which I got.
And an emote. It was just like, here's our cosmetic.
I recruited a friend, never got any of those fucking items.
To give you an example, Pokemon Go, it's not so much a refer a friend, but it encourages you to play with friends. And when they included this whole friend system.
If they open the gifts, though.
If they open the gifts, yeah. I still have you in there.
CG, open the gift.
Yeah.
Get in the gift.
But if you level up your friendship, which is after sending gifts or interacting with that other player in many ways, so many times, you reach best friend status. And the benefits are it's incentivizing you to do that because as you become better friends, when you play together against like a raid, the damage you do is increased. So like if I were to play this with 5 strangers, we do like standard damage. But if I'm playing with 1 or 2 of my best friends, our damage will be equivalent. So the 3 of us would be almost equivalent to like 4 or 5
wow.
normal standard people.
Yeah.
And then also a lot of times with those raids, the thing that happens is based on your damage output and based on a number of other things, you are allotted a number of Pokeballs to catch the legendary or whatever Pokemon you're raiding. When you're playing with best friends or whatever level your friend is, you also get bonus Pokeballs to do that. So they try to find multiple ways to incentivize you to play with people you know. And I think that's a passive way to do that versus just like referring people. It's like, hey, not only should maybe referring a friend could be broadened. This is just a broad idea. To not just be like referring a friend to come into the game, but referring a friend to play with other people. Like incentivizing you not just to like join this franchise or game or whatever ecosystem, but to incentivize them to play with other people. And maybe there are, I don't know, things to that. So, I don't know. Just thoughts.
I think another one is Borderlands 3. Because it's a game I think that's great to play with friends. The only problem is like, especially like with us now, like we have jobs. It's harder to like kind of match when we're playing together and stuff like that. I think a great thing that it can do is like when you party up, it would lower, like let's say I'm higher level, it would lower my level to your level, and then you would get bonus XP. Like not an insane amount, like like 20% or 25% bonus XP from
I think
kills.
it should incentivize you still. Like if you're the higher level, you should have like more so than just a reason for me to catch up. But like while you're playing, maybe you're like getting other things.
Maybe if anything, it's still dropping loot at my level. But I think it should put a pause on my leveling. Like I don't have a problem with that. That way we can catch up.
I'm saying something should be given to you for your time, not just like get up to my level and I'm giving you my time.
Right.
I'm getting maybe shift keys or
that's
something,
true. Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, the shift keys are perfect because then like when I go back to my regular level, I can just use that, or just drop loot at my level, at my actual level that I am, not the pause level.
Right. Because the thing I love with Monster Hunter, for Worlds especially, I mean, but any Monster Hunter to be fair,
no levels,
is that like I was very much the way like when we would do our hunts and like the meetups and stuff. What did people want to do? Oh, I need to do Tobai Kayashi, or I needed to do Rajan. I'm like, fuck, fine. I could always use more materials because you're going to use that materials at some point, and it's like I'd rather have and not need now than to need and not have.
Or sell them later when I really need.
Yeah, or sell them. Like, I have like 500 bajillion Seregios pieces because we farmed the fuck out of Seregios. And I remember when we brought people to the meetup that had never come, I was like, what rank are you? It was like 2. It was like, we'll get you to fucking G rank.
Overnight.
Yeah, it was like, all right, key quests. All right, let's unlock your rank, and now you're high rank. And it was like by the end of that, they're like, holy fuck. And they could now play like the large breadth of the game. I think that was cool because it's like, I wanted them to go up and I want them to experience this, but at the same time, I'm like, this is helping me. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So I think those are always great mindset stuff.
Nice, that's good. But that's all I got.
Cool. My topic. So I mentioned before I got this phone, and I've been noticing like I've been having my phone, and while I'm playing my Switch or like I'll put them side by side sometimes, and I started noticing the fucking screen on this thing. I mean, this is a big phone to be fair, but like
it's broken.
The size of the screen real estate is like comparable to the Switch.
It is the fucking size of the Switch. The screen
but
is
the
the
controllers
size of
on
the
the phone.
So I started thinking, I was like, what's stopping? Like, I'm looking at all these like newer phones too, the videos of like MKBHD and all these other tech, YouTubers talking about the potential and like the capabilities of current phones, like in many different ways, with photography, with 3D, with all sorts of crazy shit. And I'm like, there is literally, and now we're seeing like games like Fortnite coming to here. We're seeing PUBG. We're seeing like Call of Duty apparently has a version of itself on here. But these are all games that are like sort of cash cows. We're not seeing as much of like the Last of Us's and like the Braids and the Journeys. We see a few, but like they're really few and far between. Because people, when they think mobile games, are thinking like, okay, solitaire, and then the kind of like microtransaction-y, like, play Clash of Clans or play, Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to talk about like what you guys think is inhibiting those sorts of games from coming, or is it just like a matter of time? Like, what are you guys' thoughts?
I think it's a matter of time, but I still feel like it's far out. I feel like it's a lot of issues with like how a game plays on here. Because like with Fortnite, I think not specifically Fortnite, I had downloaded PUBG to try it, and it was not smooth. Like it just compared to what you play on PC, like this thing stuttered like crazy. There's moments you just got frozen. I'm like, I can't do it. All of a sudden you're dead. You're like, oh, okay, cool. That's it's. I freaking immediately just uninstall. I'm like, this is not gonna be for me. Like you just can't get good frame rate on like that high of a intense graphic game. But even with smaller games, like I play like I do play a mobile that is like considered like an idle type game where like you're doing more work by not playing the game. But there's like a time limit. Like if you go past 12 hours, you're not getting any more progress. You have to log back into the game, restart that progress, and then you can log back out again, and it starts progressing again. Even that game, like it's literally just images almost. Like it doesn't even have to have graphics. That will lag sometimes for me. It just like I don't know what's happening. Like maybe I have too many programs.
Is it
open.
online?
Yeah, it does have to go online. Yes.
So, my only counterpoint or argument to this is the types of games I'm saying that would be like impactful, I don't think would be like you talk about Fortnite, but you're not talking in the same vein as you would talk about it like alongside Last of Us.
Right.
Last of Us it's not really connected to any online
Right.
stuff, and I think like some of the lag with a PUBG or a Fortnite is based on internet connection. So I'm thinking more like if you had like Inside or Braid, why aren't we seeing Inside or Braid on here or Ori? Like those like sort of games.
I agree with you. I do think maybe a lot of the issues I have is because of the online connectivity.
Because I have those same.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But I still think a lot of it isn't just the online connectivity. I feel like it's just how like what the performance that a phone can produce at this point. It's still not there to have a smooth. I'm gonna sneeze. A smooth experience with it. I just regardless, even if it's a single player game, like I could have airplane mode on, and then still be playing this game. I still feel like I'm gonna have some issues. It might not be as bad as one that's connected directly to the internet, but I still think it'll have that little laggy issue because I feel like that has to do with RAM. And I know there's phones that you can get like 32 gigs of RAM or some shit at this point, but I think it's just because your phone is doing other things other than playing that game. It's still like there's still things working on the inside, so it's not giving its full performance to that game. Okay. It's still kind of dividing it, and it's just not letting it be a smooth performance. I think if we had a direct.
So you think how much you're thinking technology is the limiting factor?
I think technology is the limiting factor as to why we have not seen or won't see for a while like a game like Last of Us or
even in terms of impact, like an Inside or a Journey or a Braid, like those you're.
I guess I'm thinking at that graphical level too.
Okay.
So if I'm thinking about like something that's impactful, I think we could see it soon, and it doesn't because that doesn't necessarily have to be like a high graphic game. Like it could just be like something like something that has a crazy twist, like Inside had. Like you just see that and you're like, whoa, this is insane. Like I didn't know anything like that. It might already exist, and it's just like it hasn't been well known yet.
What do you think, Jay?
I think it's just a culture thing. Like video game companies, like they just look at mobile and story-driven, like acclaimed single-player games are not meant for mobile, and they won't. If they design a game, they won't design it for mobile. They just design it for PC, consoles. I think it's just a culture thing. They don't look at mobile phones as a place for those kind of games.
For art.
Yeah.
But you don't think we can get someone that isn't focused on like making those type of games still make a mobile game?
They can,
like
but
the guy that made Flappy Birds.
I feel like if they did, they would just do all consoles or something like that.
Yeah, I'm my thought was more on what Jang is saying is that when businesses think of mobile, they're looking for something profitable. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the marketplace of a mobile market for games or for apps in general, it's not just competing against other games, it's competing against other apps. And that app store is already flogged to the fucking teeth. Like it's bleeding out like apps out the ass. Like copies of games, parodies of things, 15 different fitness apps, all these, every which way you can think of it. And I think what the enticing part would be for someone who's like, I could choose anywhere to put this like indie game. Like it could work on a game. I don't think technology is the issue. for the types of things I'm talking about. But I could see what you're saying with like a Last of Us. Like if it was on a graphical fidelity of like Red Dead 2 or Last of Us or something, yeah, it's maybe not going to be the smoothest experience. I agree with that. But for in terms of like giving an impactful story or like being considered like an artwork or something, like a Braid or a Hollow Knight or like a Inside or any or Journey, I think its potential is there. It's just like they have more chance of standing out on a Switch or on a console, like someplace else where there's like this is where people go to look for art. I'm trying to be like, what could they do? And that I think falls more on these play stores or shops to filter, to be like, do you want to play like they somewhat do. If like I'm looking for just like something to kill 5 minutes, I can find like puzzle games and I'll find something. Or there's a lot of RPGs, like those grindy games, they like I can filter for that. But like I don't see as much of a filter or like a space for artistic or interesting innovative games. The ones that come to mind that exist right now are like Monument Valley. That gives me like this beautiful look to it.
House of Cards.
Oh yeah.
It just reminds me of House of Cards.
They bring it up in that, yeah. Like Monument Valley is one that comes to mind that's like very much in the vein of like those silent kind of like Journey-like games where it's like there's a story being conveyed here. There's interesting puzzles. It's piecemealed, and it works. It like somehow finds a way to make it work. There's other games like I haven't played, but I've seen some of the gameplay of Florence, and it takes advantage of like you use a phone to text and stuff. And this game is about this couple that's like long distance communicating with each other, and you're like going through the text. So it's like meta in the sense that it's like a game about phones within a phone.
Yeah.
I've seen a mobile game come into console. It's called Severed. It's on the Switch.
Oh yeah. It's from the Drinkbox studio, the guys that did Guacamelee.
Yeah.
That was originally that was.
It's a mobile game. I think.
It was mobile, yeah. And PS Vita, I think were the.
Is that a PS Vita?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the other thing is the profit side of things. Like the people that might be interested in trying that. Like I thought Nintendo was like, all right, we're gonna do it, and they did Super Mario Run, and it was like this catered experience towards mobile. It wasn't like super like amazing or anything, but it was a one-time payment, and you played it, and they were like, no, we didn't get the profits we were expecting from this. So they had other games that they released like Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, and because their model was much more like gotcha style, they've now started making like Pokemon Masters and Mario Kart.
Where you can keep playing.
Yeah, where it's like more in the vein of like keep you engaged and attention. And that's the market, is like attention. But it kind of is like, I would love like, when I remember they mentioned a long time ago, like Zelda was coming to mobile. I was like, it could go one of two ways. They could do like what they do with Breath of the Wild, where they like try really crazy shit and see what works, or they could be like, oh, you spend 30 rupees and get this, and then you can unlock that. It's like,
yeah,
all right, fine. I don't know. Like, I think like if I've seen peripherals for phones, like special, like now gaming, like there's like a market now where it's like gaming companies are coming out with phones, like Razer and like Asus, and they're not just like cheap like things. They're like, here's 120 hertz frame rate. You know, we got as much frame rate in this as you do on like probably your PC at home. We have the RAM, we have everything, and we have dedicated gaming modes and everything. And then they have these attachment controllers to give you genuine controls. It like looks like a Switch. It's like you've turned the phone into a Switch.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have the interface, like the gameplay.
I mean, you've seen those like Xbox One where you play like the remote play with.
The Nvidia Shield sort of
shit
thing.
looks so good.
I mean, that and like Stadia and those things kind of are like, instead of like having their own market, what if we just bring the games that play elsewhere? And that becomes, we talked about before, is the connection thing, like lag. And
yeah.
What that introduces, like, then now we got a different problem. So. I don't know. I just wanted to. What if you could pick like a studio or a company or a game developer that has made games that you feel like are moving and like changed how you thought of games? Like, who would you want to try to tackle like a mobile game?
Hideo.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be crazy.
Or Naughty Dog. What Hideo's
Yeah?
like
I
number
feel
one.
like he would
Hideo's
do some insane shit, dude. He would do
like fake calls, like hello.
Yeah.
This is Hideo. Like, what
While
the
you're
fuck?
fucking
Like,
playing, dude.
this is Hideo.
We pulled up like one of your photos from your gallery.
Oh
it's like,
my god! Sending like, but it's fake or like.
yeah, it would.
I
be
think
shit
it would.
like-
It should. If he were to do it, it would change your experience. Because you know how like when you start an app that you just installed, it's like allow
Yeah.
access to phone, allow access to. Depending on what you allow or don't allow, he'll like
And
try to
then
use stuff.
You like it accesses your camera, and then you see a ghost lady behind you. Like, what the
Visage on the mobile.
PT's back.
No,
Like,
massage. Just trying to get.
I was kind of surprised you guys didn't say Yoko the
Yoko
Nier
Taro?
Nier Automata
Oh
guys
shit, that's right.
for the glory of mankind.
just
I don't know how you would do it though. Like I just can't.
I don't know how Kojima
Yeah,
would do
exactly.
it, but
Well-
I'm like, I think like he would challenge you
Yeah.
in a way, and I could see the Yoko guy doing it too. Suda,
Yeah.
I could see him
It'd be
like
weird.
Suda.
I want the weird ones. I was like, give me the weirdest,
Weird,
shit,
non-mainstream.
because no one would expect it, and
Yeah.
you're just like, get weird with it, dude.
But yeah, you brought up like Monument Valley, and it was a huge game. Like it was all over the news when it had come out. Like this is a great mobile game, but it got nowhere near what like a AAA console game or PC game, like the coverage it would have gotten.
Sure.
Like, and I think it is that. Like, I don't think there is enough, like, eyes, I guess, on it. I would say specifically
I think
gamers,
it's got
but
different
like,
eyes on it.
yeah,
Like when people look at mobile games, they're not like Kotaku or IGN as often.
Exactly, like those
It's more
journalists,
like
yeah.
the Tech Insider or Engadget or like these other companies. They're like, we kind of play games. Like we play a little bit of like Clash of Clans on the side, or we play a little bit of this. It's like,
And the problem is, I think there's a stigma with phones. Like, if there's a game on a phone, it's not a game. Like, it's not like a true gamer thing. So I think a lot of these game journalists, they won't really cover. I mean, you'll see news articles on like a mobile game.
they talk about it differently.
Yeah, but they talk about it differently. Like, and even then, I think it's still like lightly treaded on, because you'll see comments going like, "Why the fuck is this even on here? Like, this isn't a fucking real game."
Well,
Like,
here's a question to you then. I think that some games are trying to make it more serious, but not in the way I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a Hearthstone, where they're like, this is a platform like iPads and phones. That's where people play Hearthstone a lot, I think. Like, I know you can play it at a competition on your PC or whatever, but like, now that you can play like these card games on
Yeah.
mobile, I think that's a great way of like trying to translate that.
What's funny too is when that game specifically is reviewed, it's never like the mobile version doesn't get the limelight. It's obviously like
I think
everyone references the PC version.
Really?
I think that's It's just
I don't
kind of
even
a thing.
hear them talk about version when it comes.
Exactly, that's what I meant. Like, so it kind
not
of like
mentioned.
your mind goes to
Where-
the PC
yeah,
version.
yeah.
Like that's kind of like what it goes to when someone's reviewing this. And even when they're showing screenshots, it's
Yeah.
not. You can obviously tell it's not a phone screenshot. They're taking a PC version of the game screenshot. Like,
Yeah.
So
It's kind of off topic, but there should be a game that was like Pokemon Go when Pokemon Go first came out, and people were going out and like having that gamifying the socialization of going out to like
Locations.
locations. Like there isn't a game like that. I think Pokemon Go is the only one that did that.
Ingress
Grindr.
was the basis that
Right.
was on,
Right.
and I'd always heard of it. I never knew what it was, and because I'm like, what is this? This is just geometry, shapes, and space, and it's like I'm in the grocery store, but it didn't have a hook in me.
Like I could see like a new social media app getting people to become friends by I don't know how, like whatever you like and gamifying it. I don't know, but
Grinder.
Then you start like messing with like what even is a game. Like people
Right.
treat
Well,
Facebook like and
we're
Instagram
in a
like games.
simulation, so
I mean, you could argue that Instagram is the greatest art form of game. Like,
What was it,
You're
like-
trying to get likes.
There's a farming game on
Farmville?
Farmville. That shit was crazy
Mafia
on Facebook.
Wars.
Candy
and
Crush.
Mafia Wars. Candy Crush started on Facebook.
It did?
I think. Yeah, didn't it? I think that's where
Farmville
it started.
I know Farmville did.
That style of game, I think it was
That's the
famous
basis
on.
of
Dude,
Stardew Valley.
I used to play Tetris Facebook. That was like the ish, dude.
Stream it.
It was cool too. You send your high score to all your friends. Like, beat me.
Dude, that was Tetris Facebook was fun, dude.
It's the
101.
origin of 99, Riz. But yeah, I just think like phone isn't the market to have.
It will be.
It's gonna be.
I think the moment that
It's in
like,
everyone's pocket. That's the part that I'm like, they're trying to make the Switch. That's one of the appeals of it. It's like you can take it places.
Yeah.
But
Nintendo comes out with
the
phone.
only way that I see it, this is obviously a personal thing, but the only way that I see a game on a phone being considered anything, even if the game actually is good, the way it's going to get the coverage and everything is if this acts like that.
Yeah.
Like there's just no issues, like, you know, because that.
No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah. Like as soon as that, and obviously
There can't be
besides-
like sacrifices to
Yeah.
the experience. It's got to be a full like quality experience,
Exactly.
whatever it is. And like one of the things I was also learning about, like it was a specific phone, but it was all touchscreen, right? Like as a normal like smartphone is nowadays. But this one, because it was like, oh, we have a gaming mode. Some of these phones now have like where it's like if you press it, it engages something. This had sort of like built-in shoulder buttons where if you put enough pressure, it acted like, oh, you know,
It's like pressure points almost.
yeah. And I was like, I was holding mine. I'm like, I could see that. I just would hate for it to like accidentally go off, and I don't know if you toggle that on or off or not. But it was an interesting idea. And I'm like, these are the weird ones coming out now to like.
And it could just be like the flashlight where like you're like roll down, touch a button, it's like they're active. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know, just start fucking
So
using the shoulder buttons,
it's crazy times.
shoulder pads.
But
Cool.
yeah, I just want to talk about it a little bit because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm literally like looking at this. I'm like, you're literally, this is bigger screen because this bezel's on the Switch. It's a bigger screen than the Switch. It just doesn't have. Why is the Switch so much more appealing to play games on than this? I mean,
'Cause
credit
it
to the Switch,
doesn't
but
lag.
yeah, because of the battery life.
At this point for you, yeah.
But anyway,
Haven't upgraded.
that's what I got to talk about. So, guys, where can people find you?
At the Folio everywhere, but not really.
At the last bosses everywhere.
You can find me in the vault, on Borderlands, at anywhere else.
You
And-
find me outside the vault.
Yeah, outside the vault. I'm Cujo Prime. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. Check us out. This has been episode 136. Let us know what you thought of this episode. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to email us in private rather than like putting in public or anything, no problem. We have an email, asktheweeklydlc@gmail.com. And until next time, we'll
DLC.
You later.